Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're once again looking at some Minimate figures from Art Asylum and Diamond Select. What I've got for you today is actually a review that's been a long time coming. Now if you've been following my channel for a while now, you'll remember that back in the summer of 2014, I did a complete review of all the Guardians of the Galaxy Minimates that were available when the movie came to theaters. Now while I liked all of those Guardians Minimate figures, there was a bit of a problem, rather an omission of a pretty significant character from the cast. Gamora wasn't part of the lineup. Now, while the exclusion of Gamora was a bit strange to the Minimate line, it wasn't exclusive to Minimates. In fact, at that time, Gamora was actually missing from all sorts of licensed material like t-shirts, lunchboxes, backpacks. Really, for whatever reason, it just seemed like Disney wasn't interested in promoting Gamora on a lot of its licensed merchandise. And this omission became such a problem that the hashtag Where's Gamora became a trending topic on Twitter. Anyway, social politics aside, I think Diamond definitely wanted to do what they could on their end to correct the issue. So when they released the Guardians of the Galaxy Minimates to comic book retailers a few months later, they actually included Gamora as part of the wave, and Nebula too, who was also missing from the original Toys R Us run. And that brings us to the 2-pack that we have here. We've got Gamora with a Corp Centurion. So if I haven't given myself away already, I'm actually pretty excited to check out this Minimate 2-pack and add Gamora to my lineup of Guardians of the Galaxy Minimate figures. What say we get things started by taking a look at the packaging for these figures. As you come down the front of this box, you do have an image of the Guardians there in the upper left, and the logo for the movie there towards the right. You do have a window box packaging that does have these Minimate figures inside, as well as their accessories. As you come down the packaging, you've got an image of Gamora down there to the left, and an image of the Nova Centurion to the right, and the Minimates logo there towards the center. And as we flip this package around, you've got the Diamond Select, Art Asylum, Marvel, and Minimates logo there at the top. You've got a complete lineup of all the figures that were available in the comic book retailer version of this wave. On the lower left, you got a bio for Gamora. Go ahead and pause now to read that. And on the lower right, you've got a bio for the Nova Centurion. Go ahead and pause now to read that. Alright guys, well that's the packaging. What say we get these Minimates out of the box and see what they're all about. Alright guys, here we have Gamora and the Nova Centurion out of the packaging, and I'm liking the look of these figures. The Nova Guard especially has some pretty cool detail on him. As you look at him here on the helmet, you can see that he does have the red sort of Nova characteristic star from the comic books. It was also in the movies, right there on his forehead. There's some nice sculpting here on the helmet and some great gold paint here. It's a little sloppy on the top, but on the front it looks pretty nice. He actually has full face detail. You can pull the helmet off and see that you got a nice face under there. There's not an interchangeable hairpiece, which is kind of a disappointment, but I guess you're never really meant to take the helmet off anyway. He's got some nice clean paint on the front of the torso. On the side here, we do have the Nova Corps logo on the shoulder and on the other shoulder. And then there's just some nice paint detail going down the legs. And there's even some continued detail on the back of the figure here, which is really nice. As for the Gamora figure, she's got some excellent sculpted hair. You can see here all the lines have been sculpted in and the red paint's coming down there at the bottom, and they do the same thing on the back. Just blended very nicely, just like it looked in the movie. I do like the, I don't know if they're scars, but the alien markings on her face. I think that those came out really nicely, and I think the face does look really nice and is painted very cleanly. I don't know that it really looks like Zoe Saldana, but that's okay. Coming down the torso here, we can see there's tons of paint detail. We've got the sort of mesh design here. In between the strips of fabric on the figure, there's some nice blue highlighting, just like she had in the actual movie. And then on the arm here, we have some wraps here and some dots on the back of the hand. We've got more of that sort of blue highlighting on the pants, and then line work coming down the bottom of the figure. On the back, there's not as much detail, which is a bit of a disappointment, but overall the figure looks really, really great. Accessory-wise, we can see that both of these Minimate figures do come with those clear plastic display stands, which is nice. Interesting to note that they do appear to be two different colored plastics. Not really a negative, just an observation. Now, Gamora, of course, has her sword here, and we can take a look at it up close. There's some nice sculpted detail on this item. I mean, lots of actual detail etched into the sword. Really impressed with what they have on there. And it's repeated there on the other side. There's no actual paint detail on this weapon, and it fits nicely into Gamora's right hand. You can just plug it into her hand there, and she holds it pretty easily. Now, the Nova Guard actually comes with the sort of long gun here. I don't remember these specifically from the movie, but I do see a lot of great detail on here. I like that it's got the blue paint on the top. I think that's been applied very cleanly. So a nice looking piece, and then this just plugs into the Nova Guard's hand without any trouble. You can just plug it in, there we go, and you can position them however you want with that gun. So a nice range of accessories. Articulation on these Minimate figures is standard to what we've seen before from this line. So for the purpose of this review, let's go ahead and show you articulation with the Nova Centurion. You can see that its head is ball jointed, it looks down that far and back that far and does kind of wobble all the way around. He's got a ball jointed shoulder that rotates all the way around, as well as a single jointed elbow, a full rotation here at the wrist, and then the arm has the same articulation on the other side. Full waist rotation, he's got a ball jointed hip so his leg can get forward that far, kick back very far, he's got a single jointed knee that goes back that far, his leg can bend out from the body only about that much, and then he has full rotation here at the ankle. So as always, a great range of motion for such a tiny little minifigure. Height-wise, you can see that these two minifigures do stand just a little bit under 2.5 inches tall. For some size comparison, here they are compared to the Mega Bloks Spider-Man minifigure. Here they are compared to Creo Transformers Cheetor. Here they are compared to a standard LEGO minifigure. Here they are compared to one of the original Minimate figures from 2002. We've got Captain Kirk from Star Trek. And finally, here they are compared to an average-heighted Minimate figure. We've got Wolverine from the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 figure line.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah?
Go ahead and clock out. Lunch is on me.
Hey, thanks, man.
Don't mention it. That was easy. Now, where were we? Hope I'm not too forward, but you remind me of a She-Hulk I once knew.
Really? That's the best you've got?
Well, I, hadn't really prepared anything and...
You wanna try that again, haircut?
Ah, hard to get, huh? My kind of lady.
How's it going, Chewie? Were you hitting on my girl?
Wait, you guys?
Yes, and I don't appreciate stupid pick-out lines. Actually, that's pick-up lines, babe.
Ah!
The next man who hits on me is gonna lose a lot more than a smile when he opens his mouth. Nope.
Who the hell was that?
Alright, Toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Minimates Guardians of the Galaxy Gamora and Corp Centurion minifigures released by Art Asylum and Diamond Select in 2014. Overall, this is a pretty good Minimate 2-pack to have in your collection, especially if you're trying to complete that wave of Guardians of the Galaxy Minimates that was released last August. The sculpt and paintwork on these minifigures is pretty good. If I'm being incredibly honest, there's nothing truly amazing about this 2-pack. It's nice to have Gamora, but I wish that Corp Min was somebody more recognizable, like say John C. Reilly's character. I think that would have been great. But as always, your opinion of these minifigures will ultimately rest on your opinion of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy. If you didn't like the movie, these figures probably aren't for you. But if you did like the movie and you like Minimates, you'll probably want to go ahead and check these out. Well, thanks for watching this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And a special thanks to my brother Greg, who picked up this 2-pack for me for my birthday. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at D21Beast. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.